Father protects his daughter from a violent ex. Another story that you're not going to hear in the mainstream media. Welcome to another installment of Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And once again, if you like my channel and you like my content, you can support me through the links in the description box. But let's talk about this. In another apparent good guy with a gun story, a father protected his daughter from a violent ex-boyfriend. Now, the gist of the story is this ex-boyfriend showed up at her apartment, broke in, assaulted her, left. She then called her father, who rushed over there, and he came back. The violent ex came back, was breaking in again, and the father shot him once, where he fled the scene and died later. But let's get some detail. So let's pull this up here. And this is from the Western Journal. Dad grabs his gun and runs to the daughter's apartment, turns table on her abusive ex when he shows up. Police. A Florida man was shot and killed last Friday in the city of Gainesville after police say he assaulted his former girlfriend at her apartment and returned later for a fatal encounter with her armed father. The Gainesville Police Department reported on social media on Friday that officers were dispatched to the Polo's apartments in the city following the alleged assault of a woman by her ex-boyfriend. Early in the evening, GPD responded to a domestic battery, the department said on Facebook. The suspect was inside an ex-girlfriend's apartment and physically assaulted her. He fled the area prior to our arrival. The department said that the woman's father also responded to the scene. Shortly after police packed up and left, the woman's former boyfriend returned. Officers said he's probably somewhere where he could see what was going on. Approximately 30 minutes later, the suspect returned and made entry into her apartment. Police stated the father, who was armed with a handgun, fired one shot at the suspect, which struck him in the chest. The ex-boyfriend made it as far as his car in the parking lot before he collapsed. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police are still investigating the shooting. I guess they have to do that, and the father was not arrested. No kidding. That is a pretty good indication. Responding officers looked at the evidence and initially deemed the shooting justified. It couldn't get any more justified than that. The Gainesville Police Department declined to name any of the parties involved in the deadly incident. Now, the Western Journal reached out to the Gainesville Police Department and received the following statement. As our officers were wrapping up their domestic battery investigation, the victim's parent arrived to be with her. About a half an hour later, we were back on the scene and discovered that the father of the domestic battery victim had shot the ex-boyfriend who had just returned to the apartment. The father fully cooperated with us when we arrived, turned over his weapon, and was detained and handcuffed. He explained to the officer that he was defending himself and standing his ground. God bless Florida. That's when our officers advised him of his Miranda rights, and he stated he wanted to exercise his right to have an attorney. Good move. Luckily for the dad, Florida is a castle doctrine state with clear safeguards that remove the element of fear of prosecution for people who lawfully stand their ground. It couldn't get any. The dude breaks into the apartment, assaults the girlfriend, leaves, and then comes back and breaks in and starts to break in again. How much justification do you need? You know he's violent. He's already done it once, which means he's coming back for round 2. Done. But Florida state law clearly lays out that deadly force is justified anytime a person reasonably believes that using or threatening to use such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or herself or another, to prevent the imminent commission of a forcible felony. Okay? And this is just commentary. If the initial story told by the police is accurate, then it appears unlikely the father will find himself in a courtroom. From what we know, he acted within the confines of the law and appropriately as a father and a protector. Okay. And we're going to come out of here. So now just realize, and I will kind of bring this little devil's advocate piece into it, because imagine the same situation in other states. I try to put that situation in Connecticut. I'm pretty sure this father would be under arrest in Connecticut under the same set of circumstances. He would be under arrest because this is Connecticut's thinking. This is the mentality. The father came to the apartment with the gun. Oh, you came there to cause trouble. I'm not saying that's wrong, what he did, bringing a gun, but I'm telling you that's how, like, a state like Connecticut would think of it. New York, Connecticut, California, that's exactly how they would look at it. And not saying he would get prosecuted, but he would definitely find himself in court in this state, which is just shocking, but that's the way it is. So, good story, positive ending. Kudos to this father, stepped up to his daughter, no issue whatsoever. I wouldn't convict him of anything. If I was the prosecutor, I would just look at it and go, well, just deserves, move on. Let's get some real criminals up in here. But that's just me. That's allegedly. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comments section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.